You're 4% into drawdown and the price is one candle away of hitting your stop loss. And you already know how this ends. No matter the prop firm, it is going to be the same outcome every single time. Everybody is going to be telling you that the reason why you're unprofitable is either going to be psychology, mindset, or discipline. But that's a lie. And that's the exact same lie that is going to cost you 6 prop firm challenges being blown instead of just 1. There's an actual mechanical reason on why your accounts die. And it has nothing to do with how you feel or what you do on a day-to-day basis on the market. By the end of this video, you'll be able to draw it out on your chart yourself. I will show you 3 different scenarios on why your prop firm challenges have been blown so far, and I'll also give you the fixes along the way. And the third one is going to surprise you, as no other big channel on YouTube is going to be talking about this, and the reason for that is very simple. Most traders are not going to be able to back off all of their profits. Everybody can give you a fake screenshot, but not everybody is going to be able to give you real certificates from the most popular prop firms out there. So whenever you're going to be blowing a prop firm challenge, the first thing that comes to your mind, okay, I should have done X more of whatever it's going to be, meditating, or I should have done more of journaling my trades. While those two can pretty much help you, the problem relies on something else. You're basically trying to fix the driver, okay? So put it like this: when you're in a bus and there's a bunch of people around you, and basically the bus is just jiggling around the entire time, and you're thinking, man, what is this kind of bus driver? What the hell is going on? So you see, the problem is you're blaming the bus driver for making this kind of jiggling around the bus. Now, but the thing is, it was never his fault, okay? The entire bus, the entire engine is from the start just ground up trashed. So that also means that it was never his fault, and you're trying to fix the driver instead of fixing the car. So you spent months fixing the driver even though it was never the problem to begin with. So at the end of the day, you are of course the person who is going to press the buy or sell button. But we're going to look deeper into it, because in reality it is not really your fault in blowing all of these prop firm challenges. Think about it this way: prop firms don't want you to basically break their rules. I mean, they do, but they don't wait until you're going to be doing that. Okay, what they rather want you to do is just break your own rules, okay? Because the rules are very clear from a prop firm right from the start. You're seeing, okay, I'm having a 10% max drawdown and a 5% max drawdown. So why do you keep on failing the prop firm challenge? Based on the rules that they give you. It's very clear from the start. Well, once again, because they just wait for you to slip up in your own system. So when you're looking at all of this, okay, phase 1 is going to be 10%, phase 2 is going to be 5% target, all of these kinds of things. The prop firm is basically just speeding up that entire part of you blowing the prop firm challenge because you're not listening to your rules. Okay, now let me repeat that. If you're going to trade this on your live account whatsoever, then you're going to do the same mistake also. But since there's so much on the line, you're potentially going to get a 100k account after all. That's the reason why you're going to slip up. So in this entire video, I am going to show you the exact same problems that you have been facing whenever you have been blowing a prop firm challenge, and I'm also going to give you the fix to it. So first of all, we're going to be having the revenge window, then the side script, and also the silent killer. This is by far the worst. Now, and I know this because I have been failing prop firm challenges on end. If I am going to pull up a chart of all of the different prop firms that I have blown, then the entire screen is full. Prop firms are a master at engineering you in order to buy their challenge and then just blow it. Well, yes, in sort of way, prop firms are the enemy in that case, but they're not entirely bad. I mean, after all, they are the best thing that has happened to us traders for the last 20 years or so. Now, but obviously there is going to be a part of that entire system that you're doing which is your fault, otherwise you would have passed. This scenario has happened to you very recently. I know that because I've been there myself. Okay, so you marked out some kind of level that you have seen in here, and now you'll be thinking, well, we're going to trade onto the downside. Why? Because this entire week is rejecting. Whatever it's going to be at the end of the day, you wanted to trade this lower. Now, the next thing that happens, the next candle, is actually going to trade onto the downside. And from this point on, you'll be thinking, man, I am going to pass the prop firm challenge as I've been risking 4% on that trade. Well, the next thing that is going to happen, you're just going to get humbled by the market, okay? And even though it looks like it's going to be a running trade onto the downside, you're just going to get stopped out. Now, if this would be all that really happened in here, and if also this will be a valid setup, because let's just say that this was an A+ setup, okay? So you now be saying, how the hell was this something bad that I've done if I have just taken an A+ setup and it has lost? Well, the problem does not rely on that, because after that you're going to be seeing another opportunity. So some kind of higher time frame level has been hit, and now you're going to be taking another trade. So what is this? What we call, you have spotted. This is revenge trading. The way you're going to be basically fixing revenge trading is by always identifying your A+ setup. I want to envision your A+ setup. Think about it this way: when you're seeing red on the price action, okay, so your P&L after this entire trade has lost, it's going to be in the negative. So now you'll be thinking, I need to make all of that money back, because it is very similar. If you're walking somewhere and you're losing your money, then obviously what are you going to be doing? You're going to be picking up that money because you have just lost it. But the same doesn't apply to trading in here. Although the logic is the same, the outcome is different. Now, and this is going to come back into knowing how many setups am I going to be taking, one, multiple, or am I going to be taking none? What has to happen in order for me to not take any of these trades? Okay, because re-entering is not the problem. I've just shown you the entire example. Re-entering a trade, and if that has lost, that is not the problem on its own. The problem relies in if there's not a clear defined condition, as you can see on the bottom, that has to be met in order for you to either take another entry or just leave it for the entire day, go off the charts and close trading view. And if you don't have a condition yet for your entire system, then I'm going to give you the very hard rule. One trade a day, that's it. Win or loss or break even, it doesn't matter. You're going to close trading view and you're going to move on with your day. Now the next one is going to be what I like to call the size creep, okay? You're going to be having this kind of setup where you want to take a trade and it is actually going into your direction. You have hit a trade that is basically having a very high probability. You're trying to trade this lower, but then all of a sudden you're seeing some kind of pullback movement internally, whatever it's going to be. You start imagining some kind of pattern that doesn't even belong to your system to begin with. Because let's just say on this entire trade, you have been risking 1%, okay? And if this is going to hit a take profit, then you're up 5% on the entire challenge. So now you're going to be thinking to yourself, well, if I can only make 3 more percent, then I'm going to be passing phase 1. The entire mindset starts kicking in, and then from this point on, you're going to be taking another trade just to get stopped out. So you see, there's going to be 2 scenarios how this could have went. You could have either gotten out of the entire trade before that and even took partials along the way, but instead you have lost, and now you're not up a couple of percentages, but you're actually down. And so this is going to basically loop into you making another mistake. Okay, a very classic example is going to be you're going to be seeing something onto the time frame, some kind of support zone that you want to trade off from. And once again, this is not even a low probability setup, okay? I'm going to be showing you as an example an A+ setup. You want to trade this onto the upside. The confluence is there, okay? You want to take this higher and basically have all of your confluences aligned. From this point on, you're going to be taking a trade. You'll be hovering into a drawdown, of course. That is very normal. Eventually, you start to see the price action to go higher. Okay, now you'll be thinking, well, you know, I've already endured all of this. This is so classic. I've already endured so much drawdown. Basically, from this point on, I don't expect the price action to basically reverse on this because, well, I have been into drawdown for so long. What are going to be the odds that we're going to be reversing? And from this point on, you're just going to be sizing into the entire position, although it does not align with your rules, and you're going to be increasing your take profit because, well, the entire RR is now messed up. So we need to increase that entire thing because then we can finally hit that 8% profit target goal and be done with the challenge. Now, obviously, the next thing that happens is going to be that you're going to get stopped out of that. So the way how you're going to be fixing that is quite simple. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to give you the same advice as I've given you in the very first one, that you're only going to be taking 1 trade a day. In the scenario where your conditions met, unlike the very first example that I've shown you, where you can actually take a re-entry, then this is going to be very easy to fix. Instead of just risking 2% on this entire trade and then risking another 2% on this one, you're going to keep it at a very minimal, okay? Because you want to minimize your risk. You're only going to go for a 1% risk if you already have a system where you're going to be able to re-enter trades. So this one is also only going to be 1%. So worst case scenario, you're going to be losing 2%, but you could have potentially made way more based off your system if you're allowed to re-enter trades. So you stop revenge trading, you're finally locked in your position size, but you're still going to be failing if you don't understand the third one. And I've already teased it at the very beginning of the video. This is going to be the silent killer. It is going to be by far the most influential reason on why you're going to be failing prop firm challenges. Now put it like this. You're going to be having an entire day and you're hovering around. You want to take a short basically in this entire price action, and you're thinking, man, this is an A+ setup. And your source for that is of course going to be a trust me bro source. From this point on, you're going to be taking a trade. Next thing that happens, you're going to be taking a fat loss. Now, the problem is that this is very connected with each other, okay? So you're not only going to be having one step at a time and if I fix this, okay, then I'm profitable. If I fix this, then I'm going to be profitable. No, they all work hand in hand. So if you're going to be messing up with one of these, then all of these are just going to come along. Because, put it this way, if you're going to be losing because you did not take an A+ setup, but you thought it was an A+ setup, well then guess what is going to happen? You're going to be having psychological errors now, because now you want to basically make all of that money back. You're going to be revenge trading, or you're going to be greedy once you're actually going to get lucky enough in order to get in a winning position. And that cycle just keeps on going. But let's firstly understand the silent killer. So a very classic example of this one is going to be that you have been marking out some kind of area as usual and you want to trade off from it onto the upside as an example. But the problem is with that entire setup, you have never really logged in any trades that work like this. Okay, so you're just having that gut feeling that, okay, this should be working out because of XYZ reason. Okay, you start to imagining some kind of trade idea that never in your entire playbook has ever happened. And that fix is basically not just, okay, don't take low probability setups. Okay, I'm not just going to give you a simple advice like this. You need the actual solution in order to not even get into this mindset. And after that, after you have basically taken the initial loss, you're going to be basically repeating all of the different other ones that I've shown you, but this goes a little bit deeper than that. So what you initially thought was your A+ setup, your bread and butter that you're going to be trading every single day, well, this was never the case, of course. Now, but there's going to be clear ways on how you're going to be avoiding all of that by simply logging in your trades. If you're not going to be logging in your trades, then how are you going to be able to know if this is an A+ setup? If you're not able to basically have the confidence, not only in your head, we are humans are very bad at tracking and remembering things. If you're not going to be able to do that, then you're not going to be profitable. You need to memorize it, see it visually. Okay, I've taken this exact same setup 100 different times, so probably I'm also going to be taking it another time, and this will also take profit. So the next time that you are one candle away of finally hitting your stop loss, ask yourself, is this a psychology issue or is this a strategy issue? Because the answer probably doesn't lie on both of these, because there's more to this entire story. Remember how I've previously shown to you how many trades do I want to take? Well, this is only a small piece of the entire puzzle. You need to understand all of these different questions and also have answers to all of them in order to build a profitable strategy, and one that is not only profitable with an edge, but is replicable in the markets because it's simple. So make sure to click on this video, and remember guys, trade based off data, not guesses.